Hey friends, how's it going? The movie opens with a girl named Moira, seen playing the violin. She's performing Giuseppe Tartini's famous Devil's Trill Sonata when the clocks in her room strike 6. She pauses for a moment, and suddenly a strange yellow light fills the room. In the next instant, Moira leaps out of her window, ending her life. Inside her room, we see unsettling drawings and cryptic writings covering the walls, details whose meaning becomes clear later in the story. After this shocking moment, the film introduces twin sisters Juliet and Vivian, both classical piano students at a prestigious performing arts academy. Juliet is in her final year, while Vivian, the naturally gifted one, has already been accepted into several top schools. Juliet, however, had to take a gap year because no school chose her. She has always lived in Vivian's shadow, quietly growing jealous of her sister's effortless talent. The truth is, Juliet loved music first. She gave up everything, her time, her friends, her entire life, to get better. But no matter how hard she worked, Vivian's natural brilliance always outshined her. Soon after, Juliet hears about Moira's suicide. To fill Moira's spot in an upcoming showcase, the school announces a new audition. Juliet sees this as her chance, maybe her only chance. If she can win this audition and outperform Vivian, she might finally escape her sister's shadow and make a name for herself. Later, while practicing, Juliet tells her coach, Roger, that she wants to change her piece. She's been studying Saint-Saëns, but Roger refuses, reminding her that it's Vivian's piece and Juliet should stick to her own. Later, Juliet secretly sneaks into Moira's old room and finds her notebook. Inside, she discovers pages filled with disturbing drawings and cryptic writings. Since Moira was the school's top student, Juliet doesn't brush it off. She becomes obsessed and starts studying every detail. That same night, she quietly plays a musical piece she found in Moira's notes. It's the same strange composition Moira had been practicing before her death, the one she never finished. Just then, Dr. Henry, one of the school's most respected teachers who teaches only the most gifted students, passes by. Juliet quickly hides. Once he's gone, she continues reading the notebook. But the deeper she digs, the stranger things get. The drawings begin triggering vivid visions, children whispering to her, shadows shifting around the room, distant voices calling her name. Slowly, Juliet's behavior starts to change. Soon, both sisters prepare for the final audition. Vivian performs beautifully, as always. But when Juliet's turn comes, she shocks everyone by choosing the exact same piece Vivian was planning to play, something she had never dared to attempt. Surprisingly, Juliet plays incredibly well. The teachers are stunned, and Vivian is furious. Then, right in the middle of the performance, Juliet slips into another vision. She suddenly finds herself inside Moira's room. The scene shifts again. Now she's on a grand stage, performing flawlessly as the audience rises to their feet, cheering, applauding, throwing flowers. Overwhelmed, Juliet breaks into tears. And then, the vision shatters. Juliet collapses on the audition stage. Later, it's confirmed that she fainted in the middle of her performance. Juliet breaks down when she finds out that Vivian has been selected while she's been rejected. Heartbroken and furious, she gets into a heated argument with her mentor, Mr. Roger. Juliet accuses him of always underestimating her and never believing in her. Roger snaps back, saying she shouldn't have changed her musical piece at the last minute. The fight escalates. In a moment of anger, Roger slaps Juliet, an action that gets him immediately suspended from the school. Around this time, everyone begins to notice something odd. The once insecure and hesitant Juliet now acts unusually confident, almost unnaturally so. And all of it seems connected to Moira's mysterious notebook. Taking advantage of Roger's suspension, Juliet secretly approaches the school's main examiner, Dr. Henry, to request a re-evaluation. Dr. Henry is strict, respected, and known for choosing only the best. After observing Juliet play, he admits she's talented, but still not on Vivian's level. Vivian has something Juliet lacks, real passion. Then Dr. Henry says something unsettling. Juliet plays as if someone is standing right behind her, watching her, just like Moira, the school's former top prodigy. Later, Juliet returns to Moira's notebook. This time she notices a drawing of a strange ritual. It has 6 steps. The first 5 are clearly written, but the page describing the 6th step is missing, torn out. While studying the notebook, Juliet suddenly feels dizzy and falls asleep. That night, a phone call wakes her. As she opens her eyes, she sees an eerie yellow light glowing inside her room. She slowly walks toward it. Then, in the reflection of her sliding door, she sees Moira standing behind her, smiling. Juliet screams in terror, but a moment later she realizes it was just a dream. Or maybe something else. Just then, Juliet receives a message from Vivian's boyfriend, Max. He invites her to a secret party, and Juliet decides to go, hoping to distract herself. At the party, Max gives her something to eat, and soon she starts feeling strange, lightheaded and disconnected. As she looks around, she notices Vivian in a corner, talking to another guy over the phone. That's when Juliet realizes Vivian isn't loyal to Max. She's been seeing someone else. Feeling dizzy from whatever Max gave her, Juliet sits with him for a while, and surprisingly, they start bonding. Suddenly, Vivian walks in, sees them together, and explodes. She insults Juliet, pushes her, and the sisters get into a heated fight. Juliet runs out in tears, and Vivian chases after her. As Juliet stumbles across the campus, she sees a strange yellow light glowing ahead, the same eerie light from Moira's drawings. Juliet freezes in fear. Vivian, however, notices nothing. She keeps running after her, and in the chaos, Vivian slips off a ledge and falls. Max rushes after her and finds her severely injured. Panicked, Juliet runs away. The next morning, Juliet wakes up in her room to find everything scattered. Dust, dirt, torn papers everywhere. She picks up Moira's notebook again, and this time, she notices something terrifying. Every event, Vivian's fall, Juliet gaining praise, the sudden shift in the spotlight, had already been drawn in the notebook. Each sketch showed a sacrifice, followed by recognition and success. Juliet realizes the horrible truth. The notebook wasn't just filled with random drawings. It demanded sacrifices, taking something from people close to her, so she could rise to the top. And deep down, Juliet fears the final step. What if, just like Moira, the notebook eventually demands her own life? Soon, she gets the news. Vivian's arm is fractured in 2 places, and the injury may end her career. With Vivian out, Juliet is selected to take the lead role in the upcoming performance. Now Juliet finally gets what she always wanted, the lead position. She feels thrilled, almost victorious. With the bond between the sisters already fragile, Juliet takes the chance to tell Max the truth. Vivian had been cheating on him. This leads to Max and Vivian breaking up. But that night, Juliet experiences another terrifying vision. She sees herself jumping off the building exactly the way Moira died. The vision shakes her to her core, leaving her breathless and terrified. In this vulnerable moment, Max finds her. Juliet hugs him, and the two end up getting intimate. But afterward, Max is overwhelmed with guilt and walks away, unable to deal with what happened. Later, on the night of Juliet's birthday, she invites Dr. Henry for a small private celebration. During the evening, they discuss classical music, and Dr. Henry shares a grim story. He talks about the famous composer Tartini. According to legend, Tartini was struggling, no ideas, no inspiration, ready to give up on life. But one night, a mysterious man appeared at the foot of his bed, offering him a divine composition in exchange for his soul. Tartini accepted the deal. The next day, he composed the legendary Devil's Trill Sonata, a piece still famous around the world. Through this story, Dr. Henry explains that greatness is never easy. To rise above others, sacrifices must be made, sometimes far greater than one expects. Hearing this, Vivian stares at him, then suddenly throws the food and drinks at him and storms out. As the party ends, Juliet leaves with Dr. Henry since his house is closer to her hostel. He offers to walk her home and brings her to his place. Inside the house, Dr. Henry offers Juliet a drink and tries to motivate her for her upcoming performance. The next day is the biggest night of her life. But things take a dark turn when Juliet suddenly kisses him. Dr. Henry is stunned and pushes her away, insisting he was only trying to boost her confidence, not ruin his career by getting involved with a student. Juliet snaps and reveals that she knows about his secret affair with Vivian, and that this was why Vivian always received special treatment. Dr. Henry immediately defends himself, insisting he never crossed a line without her consent. The argument intensifies. In a burst of anger, Juliet picks up one of Dr. Henry's prestigious trophies and burns it before storming out. As Dr. Henry desperately tries to extinguish the flames, viewers recognize the moment. The burning trophy is exactly what Moira had drawn in her notebook. Juliet never understood the final step of the ritual because the last page was torn. But deep down, she always sensed that the ultimate sacrifice was supposed to be her. Later, Juliet slips into a trance-like state. She starts writing inside the cursed notebook, almost as if guided by something unseen. When she finally snaps out of it, she sees what she's drawn: the demand for the final sacrifice, the price she must pay to claim the ultimate spotlight. Just like Tartini, who gave up his soul for a masterpiece, Juliet realizes the notebook now demands only one thing from her: her life. Terrified, she throws the notebook away and collapses in tears. The next morning is the annual function. Right before the event begins, Vivian confronts Juliet backstage. She lashes out, accusing Juliet of ruining her career and destroying her life. Before walking away, Vivian delivers one final brutal blow. She tells Juliet she has always been just an average pianist, someone who could never reach Vivian's level. Shaken by her sister's words, Juliet slowly walks toward the stage, drained, hollow, and completely unconfident. The audience applauds her entrance, but she feels nothing. As she sits at the piano, she suddenly hears haunting whispers echoing around her. Her breathing grows rapid. Her hands tremble. She can't play. Panicking, Juliet abandons the stage and runs out. Outside, she collapses into tears. And then, the strange yellow light appears again. Confused and overwhelmed, Juliet notices the glowing exit sign ahead of her and follows it, climbing up to the rooftop. There, she's struck by another haunting vision. She watches herself perform flawlessly as the audience rises to their feet, her parents and Vivian applauding with quiet pride. Juliet's eyes fill with tears. It's everything she ever dreamed of, right up until the moment the realization hits her. It isn't a vision. It's the notebook. It's the final sacrifice. Juliet is already standing at the edge, and she steps off. Her body crashes into the campus courtyard. In her final moments, she whispers something faint, but none of the students notice her. No screams, no shock. Life around her simply continues. And with that, the movie ends. So friends, this was the story of Nocturne. Now let's quickly talk about its hidden ending and the theories behind it. In the beginning, Moira had made a deal with the devil for musical greatness. She completed every required sacrifice and gained extraordinary talent, but her fame was temporary and the price was deadly. Those strange symbols and writings were her way of communicating with the devil, the same markings Juliet kept seeing. And that smile in Moira's photo wasn't peaceful. She genuinely believed she had mastered music, but her reality was far more tragic. After Moira's death, the school replaced her immediately. Despite everything she sacrificed, no one remembered her. Students even mocked her name. Her glory lasted only for a moment, and Juliet follows the same path. When she plays the devil's tune, the curse begins claiming her too. She unknowingly repeats Moira's sacrifices, and in return, gains the confidence, talent, and spotlight she always wanted. But the final step demands the ultimate sacrifice: her own life. In Juliet's last vision, she sees a perfect performance: flowers, applause, and even Vivian hugging her proudly. She smiles, believing she finally achieved perfection, but the truth is cruel. No one even notices her dead body in the courtyard. People simply walk past, just like they forgot Moira. Juliet becomes another name erased by ambition. In the end, Juliet never becomes the prodigy she dreamed of. The spotlight she wanted so badly was nothing but an illusion. So friends, if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.